Good morning, math wizards and math masters. Good to have you here on a Monday. Got a late start. Don't worry, I'll have tomorrow's lessons ready to go tonight so you can take them in the morning. Just got a late start today. So we're going to be comparing mixed numbers again and improper fractions. Well, I never, and what does the improper fraction say? I can't remember. All right, in any event, let's get started. I'm using different colors. You need your scratch paper out. I'm going to do 3. I'm going to leave some room for a fraction. I'm going to put another 3 over here. And I'll explain why I'm doing this in different colors later on. Now let's do the fraction. 2/3. I'm going to do the fractions in green. And 5/6 is over here. So we need to see which one any alligator is going to eat. What's greater than, less than, or equal to. And also, just on a side note, on the test, on the quizzes, the only way I could do the fractions is like this. So I hope that doesn't confuse you. I have to use a diagonal line. All right? And actually, it looks more like this on the computer. So it's the same as this. All right. Let's get busy. We're going to use tape diagrams. Now, the only diagram I need to part of this mixed number that I need to diagram is the fraction, right? Because we know 3 is equal to 3. So I'm just going to go ahead and cross out the 3's. So it's left with 2/3 and 5/6 because we know that 3 is equivalent to 3. Now to find out which one's less than, greater than, or equal to, we need to figure out the fractions. And we're going to use tape diagrams. And I'm going to do my best to make these tape diagrams close to the same size. And you should too. Okay, so there's our tape diagrams. Now, how many units does our first fraction have? It has 3 units. Remember that video we watched the other day about the holes and the units? So the whole is 3, and we have 2, okay? So, I'm going to shade in 2. You know what, I'm going to stick with green. And shade it in like that, because we're going to might do some division with this. Might. So there's my 2/3. Y'all agree with me that that is 2/3? Okay, let's take a look at 5/6. And the way we're going to do that is I'm going to make a different tape diagram down here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. You can already see which one's going to be larger, right? Shading in 5. So we can see that 3 and 5/6 is greater than 3 and 2/3. And this is just one way of doing it. We're going to kind of tweak this for the next one. And let's go ahead and put our Annie alligator. Annie alligator, what are you going to eat? You're going to eat 3 and 5/6, right? Get out my black. So 3 and 5/6 is greater than 3 and 2/3. All right, let's do our next one. And we're going to be comparing 3 and 2/5 and 3 and 6/10, okay? So let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to do the fractions in red again. 3, leave room for a fraction, space, 3. Now we'll do our fractions, 2/5, and then we'll do 5/10. And we're going to use a 6/10, excuse me. So think about some of the other ways that we've compared fractions like this. Let's make our 2/5 first, okay? I'm not going to do another one, I'm just doing one here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, okay? Now we're going to shade in 2. So there's 2/5, okay? Do y'all agree with me? Sure you do. 2/5, 2 out of 5. Now, we're going to turn this tape diagram into tenths. How do we do that? We just split them in half, right? Because we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 5 times 2 is 10. So let's go ahead and cut them in half. So now how many tenths is 2/5? 1, 2, 3, 4. It's 4/10, right? This now equals, it was 2/5, and now it's 4/10, but they're equivalent. Do you see how they're equivalent? All I did was cut the units, made more units. So 4/10 compared to 6/10, I'm going to get on another color. And we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So I know that the 3's are equivalent, right? Dink, dink. And I can see here that 6/10 is greater than 2/5 or 4/10, right? 6/10 was all the way over here. So Annie Alligator is going to chomp down on 3 and 6/10, okay? We go to another one, and I'm going to do the same thing. The whole number in red, leave room for a fraction, space here, and the whole number in red. And now let's do our fractions. We have 1/6 and 1/3. So go ahead and write that down. And we're going to write a tape diagram again, just one tape diagram. Okay, so let's get busy on that. Tape diagram. Let's do 1/3 first, okay? I'm going to divide this into 1, 2, and 3. And what should we color in? Well, we should color in 1 unit of the 3. That represents 1/3. But because I have different denominators, I can't determine which one's greater or less than or equal to until I make the denominator the same. So let's turn this into 6ths. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So now we have 6. Okay, went from 1/3. So 1/3 is equal to what? 2/6. Do you see that? It went from 1/3, we turned it from 3 units into 6, and now it's 2/6. Is 2/6 larger than 1/6? You bet it is. 1/6 is only there. We have 2/6. So Annie Alligator is going to eat the 4 and 1/3, or 4 and 2/6. And of course we know that the whole numbers here are equivalent. And there we have it. 4 and 1/3 is greater than 4 and 1/6. Because we turned this into a 6th, it became 4 and 2/6. Okay? Let's keep moving right along. And we're going to do, here we go. Wow. 4, oops, I'm going to reverse this one. 4, leave room for a fraction. And then over here we have an improper fraction. 19/4. And over here we have 5/8. What's going to be greater? Wow. Well, we have 19/4 over here, so let's go ahead. I'm going to do a little extra work so you can really see this, okay? So let's go ahead and not just divide 19 by 4, let's make some tape diagrams, okay? What units is it going to be? It's going to be in fourths. 1, 2, 3, and 4. But how many do I need? I need 19, right? One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 13, 14, okay, now let's check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. We're almost there. That's a lot of fourths, isn't it? Let's color them in. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. So, what number is this now? What can I change it to? There's 1 hole, 2 hole, 3 hole, 4 holes. So now I can change it to 4 3/4. Okay, that's a little bit easier to work with, right? So I'm going to go ahead and cross out this improper fraction. And we're going to make this a 4 3/4, or 3/4. Okay? So now, we can look at this and say, okay, well, 4 and 4 are equal. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is 4 5/8. This is 4 3/4. So I'm going to cross out the 4. I just need to determine what's greater, 5/8 or 3/4. Me, no. How am I going to find out? I'm going to go like this. I'm going to turn these fourths into eighths, right? 4 times 2 is 8. So all I got to do is split them in half. And I can see that 4 3/4 is 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 eighths. Is 6 eighths greater than 5 eighths? Yes, it is. So any alligator will eat 4 3/4 and not 4 5/8. Oh, Annie. Always so hungry. Okay, that was a tough one. But we got other tough ones up ahead. And, uh-oh, someone doesn't like tough ones because he doesn't have a growth mindset. Calculating cat. Leave that alone. All right, let's do this one. We're going to use an area model to make like units, then less than, greater than, or equal to. Compare. So our first one is 2. Oh boy. 2, make room for a fraction. And then on the other side, we have an improper fraction, 10/7. No, excuse me, 18/7. Even with my glasses, this writing is so small. So we need to see which one's bigger, all right? So instead of making all those tape diagrams, I'm going to use the method that we learned from the Snopes video, you know, where they say, well, I never. Because if I did a tape diagram, that'd be a lot of 7s I'd have to do, okay? So let's not do a tape diagram. Let's turn this into a mixed number, okay? It's an improper fraction right now. And the way we're going to do that is through the magic of division. Remember, a fraction is just division, 18 divided by 7, all right? So 7, let's count by 7. 7, 14, 21. Oh, too many. 7, 14. So 7 times 2 is 14. What's our next step? Subtract. 8 minus 4 is 4. 1 minus 1 is 0. And there we have it. So remember on Snopes how this works out. This, the answer, the quotient, is the whole number, 2. And the numerator is the remainder. And then, of course, the quotient, the denominator stays the same. So we're comparing 2 4/7 and 2 3/5. Wow! Think about it. This is going to be kind of a difficult one. So I know that 2's are equal. So I'm going to cross them out. So we're just comparing 3/5 and 4/7. Are you ready? Let's do a tape diagram. And I'm going to make it a really long, skinny tape diagram. You'll see why in a moment. We're making this into fifths. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. How many fifths? We have 3, right? You with me? 1, 2, and 3. But now I have to turn this into sevenths. Okay? How do I do that? Here's where we have a problem, because the only thing that, if I just split them in half, I'm not going to have sevenths, I'm going to have tenths. And I have to do this equally. So what if I did 5 times 7? 5 times 7 is 35, right? Let's go ahead and break these up into 35 separate pieces. So I'm going to take each one of these, watch, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. All right? Let's go all the way down. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now what do we have? What is our denominator? Well, let's take a look. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Oh boy. I forgot to do one thing. We're not breaking them into 5 parts, we're breaking them into 7. Mr. Leggett. Early in the morning, I guess, or early for me. So we have 5, so I'm going to make this cut right here, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. 1 there and 1 there. I'm going to double check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Cut 2 in half here. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I can't believe I did that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, now we have 35ths. Okay, so let's see how many 35ths 3/5 is. Okay, 7, 14, 21, 28, 35. Well, there was 3/5. So I have 7, 14, 21. This becomes 21 35ths. Okay, do we see that? See how 3/5 became 21 35ths? We just cut them into more pieces. But now I got to deal with 4/7. How am I going to deal with 4/7? Well, I'm going to do a little shortcut here. I know that 7 times 5 is 35. So 4 times 5 would be 20, right? Right? Let's just double check this. And we're going to make another long tape diagram. And we're going to break this up into 4/7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. How many are there? There's 4, right? 1, 2, 3, and 4. And what are we breaking this up into? Well, this one we're going to break up into 5 pieces. Ready? Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 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 And 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. This is a tough lesson, guys. I know that. So, what do we have now? 5, 10, 15, 20. I have 20 35ths. And look, it almost kind of came out looking equal there. So I have 20 35ths. So I can see that 2 and 3/5 is indeed greater than 18/7, or 2 and 4/7, or 2 and 20 35ths, and 2 and 21 35ths. So, bada bing, bada boom, we eat the 2 and 3/5. One more to go, kids. Ladies and gentlemen, we're comparing. Are we ready? Yes, we're ready for one more. 2, and we're going to do this, the math, I'm going to make a space here for the fraction, and 2. So we have 2 and 3/8, and 2 and 1/3. Now I could make those tape diagrams, but it kind of took a long time. Let's cross out the 2's. So the only thing we're comparing is 1/3 and 3/8. Now, here's the little trick I'm going to show you. Are you ready for some math magic? Because this is how we'll be doing this tomorrow. I'm going to say 3/8 equals, watch what we do. We're going to multiply it by 3. What will that equal? Well, let's take a look. 3 times 3, 3, 6, 9. 8 times 3, 8, 16, 24. And so we have 9 24ths. 3/8 is equal to 9 24ths. You see what we're getting at? We've got to make the denominator the same. And the way to do that, sure, we do tape diagrams, we do number bonds, etc., etc. But this is kind of the method we're going to be working with tomorrow. So let's do 1/3. 1/3 equals what? It equals 1 third times 8 over 8. Right? And that's just 1 basically. So basically we're multiplying by 1. And what does that mean? It means the number stays the same. Believe it or not, 9/24 and 3/8 are the same. They're equivalent. So 1 times 8 is 8. And 3 times 8, 8, 16, 24 is 8/24. So what's greater? 3/8 is greater than 1/3. 9/24, 8/24. Voila! And Annie the alligator eats the larger number. Do we see how this works? I believe I see how it works, Mr. Leggett. You have to get the denominators the same so that they will be equal. Yeah, you have to have the same denominator. It's the only way we can really compare fractions is if you have the same denominator. Yes, that's true, Princess Yvonne. We got to get the same denominator. And how do we do that? Through multiplying by 1. But this doesn't look like 1. 3/3 and 8/8. It is 1. Doesn't matter. If numerator and denominator are same, there's 1. Well, yeah, I guess that's true. Because that's just like multiplying by 1. So you're saying that 9/24 is equivalent to 3/8. Exactly. And then you're saying 8/24 is equivalent to 1/3. Precisely. So then the very end, we can see that 9/24 is greater than 8/24. Most assuredly. Well, thank you. You've been using a lot of great adverbs today, Princess Yvonne. All right, we'll see you tomorrow for math. Don't forget, got to get on your IXL, got to get in your Zoom. We got a writing lesson to do, and you'll be using your docs to do the writing lesson. So make sure you log into Language Arts as well.